YouTube's.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Where are we? Why are we not showing up for me?
All right. Well, I just got notification on YouTube. So.
All right, there we are. I see us on there. Okie dokie. Good to go.
And we got a couple people in the room. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are live on both the YouTube and the Virtual Cantina Network. Welcome to the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. We are here. Very excited about this episode. This episode just is insane in so many ways, which is absolutely awesome. So very excited to watch with you guys. My name is Spencer. If you didn't know already, I'm one of your hosts for the evening. Our producer for the night is working double duty today on shows. Hefe, how you doing there, Jeff?
All right. I think I'm getting the hang of this eventually here. Finally.
Very cool. Well, no, it's always a good thing. We appreciate all you do and all that jazz. And also we have Dave. What's up, sir?
Hello. How is it going?
Doing well. Hey, Scooby. Hey, Jen. I don't know if they're in the chat right now. But a very, very happy birthday to two of our illustrious members of the Mod Squad. First, Catherine Williams and the governor, Mr. Notman. Happy birthday to you both. And he'll be on a little bit, but also Bryce's daughter Sophia's 5th birthday is today, which is very, very nice as well. Very sweet.
Everybody's got a birthday today.
Yeah, everybody's got a birthday today, but a lot of
You've
good
got a
things,
birthday.
today.
You've got a birthday, and you. Sorry, I get carried away.
You totally went out. You totally went Oprah on that.
You gotta. Sometimes you gotta go full Oprah.
Mm-hmm. Or the Whoopi, which is looking over your glasses.
All Guinan. Across the bar. Sorry, hockey.
It's all good. We always have to try. What's it called? Trying to think. Brain fart. Oh, so we had a really great first news desk for Celebration Europe today. Our good friend Gary to discuss getting ready for Celebration over in Europe. A lot of good tidbits, including starting to research your hotels now, and even if you're just thinking about going, there are hotels out there that don't have to put any money down, and you can cancel at any time up until 3 days before without a penalty. That's one of the things we recommend. Also starting to research things you want to do, when you're going to come in, worry about jet lag and, exchanging money into pounds, et cetera. All good things, but very excited about that. But
I think that was
it's available
tip
on
of the whole deal is the jet lag deal, because flying into when I came into California and then just stayed up the entire night because of people.
Right.
But yeah, that was important. And yes, sorry, to finish what you were saying is available as the featured video right now. First thing, whether you're a member, whether you're not a subscriber, which you should be a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, click that button right now. But the featured video is it's contagious. You've given me the cough.
It is.
It is but it's the featured video. Go on there and check out the Intergalactic News Desk.
But I absolutely recommend it. Here the thing is, like Dave was talking about, we were talking about 3 hours behind from where Dave and I are and where Jeff is currently. We're talking 5 to 6 hours ahead that we're going to deal with in London. Now, I had to deal with 3 hours behind and 6 hours ahead within a week, which I'm surprised I didn't die then. But at least getting in, because like I mentioned, Celebration typically starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. Dave, our time, that's going to be 4 a.m. for someone like a Jeff, it's 1:00 in the morning when we're walking into the Excel for any start date of Celebration England. So getting there at least a day or two to try to get acclimated in some sort of capacity is probably a good thing. But depends upon the schedule. But 41 weeks and 1 day from Celebration England, 41 weeks to the day for Bunta 4.
Ooh.
Today is the 4th.
Tatooine on the Thames.
Today is actually 41 weeks from today is the next Bunta, which is ridiculous. But check it out on the Virtual Cantina channel, the network, www.youtube.com/the Virtual Cantina Network. Speaking of the VCN, Dave, why don't you tell us about a little bit some of the new stuff that's available on the VCN?
So new stuff available on the VCN. I just shot right before this a new unboxing because I can't help myself with the unboxing. Just shot that. That'll be edited and up soon. And Jeff knows, that I was preparing for a little show and tell with something new that I just got when we were
Shiny.
Dave was shining it. Dave was shining his helmet on screen.
He's even got a.
Oh no! See, what a night for Mike not to be in the chat. Mike would be.
Yeah, he's in the Holy Land right now. So
but he was on earlier. Anyway.
I saw, but
yeah. Notman's like, yay! Me and Spencer out on the lash in London. We don't know what that means, Jonathan.
Yeah,
no idea. We're gonna have to. That should be a whole nother show. Is us on
English
with Notman and figuring out how to speak English? Because
we don't speak freaky deaky Dutch, okay?
Merkin.
But we speak Merkin, okay? But also we have this weekend another episode of the Unifying Force, so they can talk about everything that they got wrong in tonight's episode.
And we will, because we'll critique it. But there are so many things to love and so many things to go in tonight's episode and the series at whole. But I have enjoyed it. It has been.
And another show I'm looking forward to watching, which has been an incredible show. If you has not been watching it, you really need to, is Rebels Revisited. Jeff is the lead producer for that one. And next week, they're actually going to talk about the Rebels' influences in Obi-Wan Kenobi. In particular, this episode that we're going to watch tonight, which is laced
alert
with spoilers and references to Rebels of all shows, which is pretty cool. What's your thoughts on that?
So that's really cool.
There were no references to Rebels in this. No, it's just a cartoon. It's not real Star Wars.
Yeah, and neither is the holiday special.
That too
a little different.
A little bit.
Just a tad.
Arthur,
but also, yes. Well, thank you for being a friend. Anyway, a couple of things that are available right now. First and foremost, the Bunta Eve t-shirts are on sale again at a discounted price. If you'd like to get it at the low price of $20 at $2 at $20. They're available online right now. Thank you very much. Which is buntaevecantina.square.site, SITE. Oh, those are pretty.
Yes.
We are getting some new orders in. Also, the emitters, the virtual Cantina emitters, which attached to your Savvy Saber. If you built a Savvy Saber, those are available for sale as well right now. And also, we have a limited edition virtual Cantina Empire-centric hockey jersey, which is available right now, which you can actually get your own personalized number on that. And for an add-on, you can get your name or character name or whatever on the back, which is pretty cool right now. We're taking orders until mid next month.
Palpatine.
You could do that. Not a problem at all. Actually, a lot of people going 66. A lot of people are 77 that have been ordering lately, which doesn't surprise me. Which I think with the 40th anniversary of Jedi, I think Mr. O'Neill's needs to be 83, but that's just me.
I
want you got it.
For it to be.
I want the number I get.
It's totally wicked.
778,083 is the number I want. It's too many digits, though.
I know.
Wicked.
Does this like E3?
Oh yes.
Cool. So that's very cool. But yeah, take a look at that. We have the Google Doc form, order form is available on our page. I've been posting that every day. Please make sure you get your orders in or paid for by the 19th of July. So yeah, so a lot of good stuff going on there. A lot of great stuff going on the Virtual Cantina Network. Next week, we're going to actually go back and watch Gallery from the Book of Boba Fett because we were involved in other projects that we didn't get to that in May.
Some of us were out and about on that day. It was very active.
Yeah. But so, still very exciting about all the stuff. But we're going to watch that. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to watch the 20th anniversary panel from Celebration of Attack of the Clones, which was a really, really good panel. And I say that, without giving too many spoilers, even though that you and Hayden were on the panel, yeah, Tamora Morrison stole that panel like no one's business, but that's just Tamora Morrison.
That's one I kind of regretted not being in the room for, but it was great to watch.
Him and Dan Logan, had a great report. And there's one part that I actually want to talk about is that for years, Dan's been talking about his big scene in Clones with Ewan on getting the nasty look that he gives Obi-Wan. But this time in the panel, they actually get Ewan to tell the story. So instead of Dan, so which is pretty awesome that Ewan's actually telling the story. Because it's very easy for somebody to remember it, like how they remembered it and tell the story, but to hear the person who actually thought of it and actually say it, it's like, okay, it validates 20 years of stories of of Dan telling that story, which is nice, because how people are. When they tell stories, they tell how they remember it. But all good things. And then we're getting ready from some stuff, and then in a couple of weeks, literally in a month, a little over a month and a half, we're gonna have Bad Batch season 2. We're gonna have Andor, and Andor we're gonna have for 12 weeks. So it's gonna be pretty.
And how many episodes is this season of Bad Batch? Wasn't the last one like 16?
They'll probably do that again.
I hadn't seen that yet.
They didn't need to do 16 though. They could have got away with 12 or even 8 if they would have just tightened up that show a little bit, in my opinion. But there was a lot of that filler kind of let's go on this side quest kind of thing.
I think it became like the 18 kind of like mission of the week kind of thing.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember hearing you compare it to that.
But when you guys start to patch in new people, that would be an idea for a shirt.
Oh, the patch
beard batch season 2. When you guys patching, new recruits into the beard batch. But yeah, no, some good stuff. But I hope everybody out there is doing very, very well. And feeling well and feeling better. Those who cut the finger and cough like me and Dave do, even though Dave didn't really get sick. He got the con crud.
Yes,
probably.
That is what I had. Con crud,
I had some basic con crud too.
But but Dave is getting ready. He's got a big, well, not a big celebration, but a big con for his area. He's going to a regular Comic-Con this weekend. Are just announcing like crazy. GalaxyCon Raleigh is huge now. They're adding people like nuts to that. Yeah, so things to get excited about. I mean, I sent Dave some information. Some more old school wrestlers like Sting is going to be at Raleigh, and Jake the Snake Roberts, and
that's my heart is with the Sarge. It's with the Sarge, but I think
I know, I was about to
Dragon
say,
Steamboat also
and Steamer's going to be there. So to me, the greatest match of all time is Steamboat Savage for WrestleMania 3, but that's that's me being an old school wrestling
with my
fan.
current facial hair situation, I wish that it would be the captain.
Captain Lee, get some rubber bands.
Put like 47 rubber bands in the beard and go meet Captain Lou. But I don't know if Captain Lou's still alive.
No, he's not. Yeah. Unfortunately, he died like 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, you got some great Star Wars people. They just announced Carrie Jones is going to be there, so you can finally get your Chrysanthemum comic signed.
I actually went out and got a new Chrysanthemum comic when I found out he was there, because the one I had before was an artist rendering of Chrysanthemum, but there's a variant out now that actually has a photograph of Carrie Jones from Book of Boba Fett on the comic. So that's what I've got going for that one.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you got that going on. You got some great stuff there, and as mentioned, I'm gearing up for Terrificon, which is at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. The only Star Wars, there's a couple of Star Wars. Sighthammer, who plays Ned B in Kenobi. Also Phil Lamar there, who is several characters in Book of Boba Fett.
He does so many voices.
He was Bail Organa in the Clone Wars. And there was a couple other actors from cartoons there, and most of the cast of the Orville is going to be there as well. And also, I would say he's a Star Wars adjacent legend in Dan Fogler, if you want to go talk about fanboys.
Yes,
I would say that he falls into that line. Which should be pretty good. And then also getting ready 2 weeks later, which it's like, wow, I got 2 cons within a 3-week period. Boston Comic Con, Fan Expo Boston, which has a crap ton. It's got like Anthony Daniels, Giancarlo, Carl Weathers, Ming Na, Gina Carano, Ashley Eckstein, Elijah Wood, who did a voice in Resistance, Kevin Smith, Jeff Anderson, and the writer Charles Schulz is going to be there, which is going to be great because I can get Light of the Jedi signed and some other comic books signed by him as well. So a lot of good.
I keep hearing Charles Schulz when you say that
Jeff,
name.
Are you?
No,
and I'm like, the guy that did the Peanuts. Wait.
Yeah. Are you going to Are you going to San Diego, Jeff?
Right now, I have not determined positively one way or another, but I don't have tickets, so that could be a major factor. I was considering doing like a day, but outside, because they always have so much stuff going on in terms of activities and programming outside the con in the Gaslamp District in downtown San Diego. So that's a possibility. If anybody that
Kevin Smith's doing like 5 shows in a row at the at Tin Roof, at the movies at Tin Roof. So that they're doing a Clerks reunion. They're doing Batman Beyond. They're doing Babylon. They're doing Jane Silent Get Old. Like
it's easy to get a bunch of stuff hammered out if they have the space. Sort of like other companies that I've heard of recently. Anyways,
I see what you did there, sir.
Oh yeah.
So
and Claudia Gray will be in Raleigh at you mentioned Charles Soule, but Claudia Gray was announced for GalaxyCon.
Oh, there you go. You can get she's one of the Luminous 5, so you can get her on some stuff.
I have to see if I actually have a print book of Into the Dark. I've got it on audiobook. I know that's how I read it.
You read it on audio.
He read it on TikTok.
That's right.
Yes. But no, a lot of good stuff happening around cons, which is great. And as we mentioned, gearing up towards Celebration, which we are in big plans right now for that, which is awesome to hear, especially since we just got off of our Celebration and now we're in plans for the next one, which is pretty awesome.
Too soon.
But we are it's never too soon. But we're about to watch chapter 6 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Recap chapter 5, I still say, is some of the best Star Wars 10 years. This episode is pretty high up there. Without giving away anything, there was a lot of things that I wanted and a prediction that I actually made on Tuesday, which I'll call out. But also some surprises, which were actually welcome surprises. And there was only one thing that I thought this episode didn't have that I thought, well, if they added this, it would have been great. Which would have been a flashback with a certain queen, which would have been pretty cool. And I'm not talking about Freddie Mercury. But
Adam Lambert?
Yes,
I would have taken a flashback with Freddie Mercury. They could have. They did the Tupac hologram. They could have done the same. Yeah, it would have been fine.
True. One thing that I was disappointed in, it's not really a spoiler.
But no, it's a really good episode.
Is the fact that I was teased that the episode was going to be a certain length.
Yes.
And that did not come to fruition. So that's a little disappointing. But it was
if it's on a
little bit longer.
It did a lot for the amount of time, for the 46 minutes it was there. But they crammed a lot in there. But you know what they say, everything, if it's on the internet, it's true. So maybe there's an hour and a half cut out there somewhere. A director's cut. Yes, there's probably a director's cut. Whoa. Well, since they said that they changed the ending, so maybe that's where the other 100 minutes went, or whatever. He hit the floor there when they cut it. They're like, well, we could save this for season 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Missed an opportunity for a certain line. I don't know that. I think they caught that certain line, at least the one I'm thinking of. They got it at the right point.
I think she's talking about the other line. I think she's talking about the other line.
Okay.
I'll point that out when we get.
I'm thinking she's talking about a different line as well. That's why I commented the way I did.
Right.
But yes. Lots of stuff happened in this episode. Very intense. Very.
But at least they got one line in that we've been waiting all season for.
Yeah, I cheered. I cheered in my living room. I did.
Yes, as you should. But yes. So, there's Mike Delicard. Mike, you missed it. Dave was shining his helmet on screen.
Buffing his helmet for all to see.
Just for you, Mikey. Just for you.
There he goes. Buff. Look at he's got a rag to do the job with it as well. That's Anyways.
Yep.
As the conversation deteriorates.
Anyway.
People
drop
off.
We got 2 minutes, so make sure they right. So make sure that you have D+ available on your screens. We're going to start in about 2 minutes right now, but very excited about running the show with you guys. And Mike is laughing his head off right now. But yeah, no, that we're all good things, sir. All good things. But yeah, anything else before we start this shindig?
Been a great series, so I'm just happy. I still feel I may be biased for those first couple episodes, like Dave mentioned before, but I feel the way I do about them regardless. So I need to sit down and watch the whole thing as a, basically in one sitting probably, and get a better feel for it overall. There are a lot of things that I didn't like that much that I felt they could have done a lot better in terms of visually, especially. But it is what it is, and I enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah.
And enjoy it one more time.
Absolutely. All good things. So make sure that everybody has it's 5 a.m. He's getting ready for the day. So Mike's getting ready for the day, and we're about to start watching our show. So all good things. So Mike, thank you very much for stopping by. So everybody have queued up the episode?
Good to go. Whenever you are.
Okay. So hey Bryce, how are you? Happy birthday to your lovely daughter, Sophia.
Indeed. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And the other people in the chat, Catherine and Jonathan, and anybody else whose birthday it is today as well.
Yes, thank you everybody for spending your birthday with us. We we do always appreciate y'all joining us for our events and all that. So thank you very much. But let's start the countdown. So we're going to start down in 10, 9. Proceed. I'm never going to let that off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
And again, like Jeff always says, they have missed such the opportunity to do that. They've only done the lightsaber thing like once.
I think they did it for the trailer and not even for an episode.
Yeah.
Don't skip that recap.
No, don't skip the recap.
Even though it's quick. A couple of them. Love the shots of the underside of the Star Destroyers. So amazing. Uh-oh. Pulled the Qui-Gon.
Ooh, she has a very shiny thermal detonator.
Yeah, it must have been a new one right out of the package. She just pulled that sticky, like that tape that they put on stuff to keep it from getting scuffed. Just pulled that off of there. So here, if you look, you can see the other ship.
It's very quick.
Yeah, it's subtle. It's not noticeable. It's there earlier as well. So that, made me less bothered by that. But anyways, that's some crazy point of view stuff.
Yeah.
This whole episode is a point of view.
Rupert Friend at GalaxyCon.
Oh yeah. Oh nice.
Yes. Was he just announced?
He's been on there for a little while.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, I was very pleased that we got to see a little bit more than the side of Luke's face in this episode. Maybe even hear him.
Maybe.
Although he does, spoiler alert, he does a lot of acting with his eyes closed.
Yes.
He said there's a lot of whining, which...
So this is me. I thought young Luke, when we see him, this much more of him in this episode, I thought he looked a very young Ron Howard.
Yeah,
You mean like Opie?
Yes.
Kind of. Got a similar head shape and haircut, kind of.
And I thought in certain
there's some Jawa friends of ours.
Reddish,
one of them, right? So does that animal that was walking through the shot at the very beginning of the scene make llamas canon in Star Wars?
There you go.
Didn't look like anything but a llama, but they didn't show its face. So
So is she like trying to be like Thor in that scene, that not recognizing her because she put something over her face and
Not when I do this.
Yes, exactly.
Right, exactly.
And she hasn't been to the Mater yet, which is disappointing. You think she would have some sort of knowledge of tracking down a Mater.
Right.
Yeah, but you'll see a little later on, spoiler alert, that a moisture farmer can, like, exploit that that flesh wound.
That's like way more than a flesh wound, but I mean, we may find out that it's, through old scar tissue or something from
previous
the first time,
which should have been more than a flesh wound as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
oh, look, it's baby tea tree oil. I don't know I don't know what it's called.
Young Cube. Whenever he says his name, I'm thinking he says broken, not broken.
Oh yeah.
Quit saying he's broken, man. You haven't lived in his shoes.
I think one of the shows I watched, I don't know if it was Screen Crush or another one that did a recap of this. They said, to quote Roken's father, "Today was a good day." I'm like,
like, well, how did she get there so fast? And I'm like, we don't see her with a ship, but I guess it's because this takes so long, this ship getting anywhere, because they don't have a hyperdrive. Vader is on the Star Destroyer chasing them at regular space. And I guess
what you just mentioned,
it reminds me like the beginning of Last Jedi.
The hyperdrive thing bugs me a little bit, as I'll mention when we get to a certain point coming up. Yeah.
Okay, so
the
scene right here. Yeah, does this set look like the same set? They just moved the inside of the bar of Freetown.
Freetown, yeah.
It does.
I got a very similar vibe from it when
looks like when you walk in, that looks like the bar in the center. Like the doorway looks the same.
We have talked before, and we will talk again, I'm sure, about budget allocation on this show, and just some things that just didn't get hit, and that could be it.
Although, if that's it just could be a similar style that they built for this particular set, because those photos I shared, you could see that there was literally a block of buildings
right.
for these Obi-Wan sets, at least that Tatooine.
But
set.
Even that block of buildings that you showed, it looked like a very similar layout to, what was it, Mos Espa?
Yeah.
Big building at the end.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe it was used multiple times. Yeah, that's very possible.
Just the layout of that looked like Flashdance bar all the way down at the end, and that street with the curve.
Oh yeah, kind of look. Yeah, I think
very similar layout. Haja's name bugs me because it's like haha, and he's a comedian.
Oh,
it's nice to see Bonnie getting
entirely
screen time.
Could have completely just had a not known actor.
Bonnie is interesting because she gets billed in the main credits every episode, but I think, did she even have any lines in any of the first few episodes? Was she even on screen? A little bit, like background or something?
Maybe
for one or two Tomorrow was in his own show.
And
what, too soon?
A little bit.
She's all over this episode though, which is nice. So
she is, and she is. She kicks. Just the big unexpected is like, oh, what? And Baru's like
kicks some serious ass.
She's the lead motovator here. Let's get this done.
I can't wait to meet her.
I was just looking at her like, my wife's been hiding blasters in the walls this whole time.
I think he'd know that there was something there.
Well, maybe after the last, raid by the Tuscans, when Shmi was attacked, they started putting together an arsenal
of shotguns that don't look that much like anything from the Star Wars universe.
They didn't look very swarzy, did they?
They shot blaster bolts, but
it looked like
they shoot blaster bolts.
It looks like the sawed-off shotgun that you can get at S-Mart.
Yeah. Or that Arnold might be toting.
Well, but the one that Baru was shooting was like pretty close to full automatic.
Right.
She shot off, she's going to shoot some multiple rounds quickly, yes.
Yeah.
The young Leia, some of her acting chops in here were very, like, they pull up the heartstrings, which is very much, overselling, like Carrie Fisher to the, very touching Carrie Fisher. Like, you could definitely see the
connections. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Like how it said,
and
playing just to.
Carrie actually had a bird pet named Lola as a child.
No. We debunked this rumor on an earlier episode.
It was Carl something.
It was like Mr. Snuffleupagus or something.
Oh, that's what I was thinking it was. It was more simple than that. It was like Carl Patrick or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta stop reading the internet. I really do.
It was a great idea, and she did have a pet bird, but it wasn't named Lola. That would have been amazing. But the fact that she had a pet bird that she would they have a picture of her with it on her finger, so that kind of gives you that sort of similar vibe. But it's a nice thought, and it's going to stay perpetuated forever because of that meme.
Well, because everything you read on the internet is true.
It's true, and there's a sucker born every minute,
and they're expensive. Anywho, so I'm glad that O'Shea got some extra screen time as well, because he didn't show up until episode 4.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of him in the audience sitting next to Hayden. Who the hell is Hayden? Next to Hayden at the screening.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was ready to
Hayden. I like that.
Well, and I think for those of you that are just joining us and rolling in about now, we're at 10:48-ish into episode.
Hello,
6, or
Bruce. Hello, Squirrely. How are you?
Yeah, but they're just zipping along. That's got some heck of shields on that deal. Well, and we get some more Grand Inquisitor just randomly standing around with his saber on his back there.
Definitely feels like it makes it a piece of their armor where they do that.
Yeah, but he carries it that way, and the 5th brother carries it that way. I don't think the 3rd sister carries it that way, Reva.
I think they show her with it on her back if they hadn't already.
Oh, okay. I had seen some times when I thought it was on her hip, but maybe that was just she already had it in her hand or something.
Does anybody else want to jump, do like a piggyback and like make it like a steering wheel and like?
No, I was just like sitting here in this whole level of like the piloting where they're going is like, turn around, pull a Han Solo, go underneath them or behind them, or hello. You are smaller and more maneuverable. Be smaller and more maneuverable.
True. You run.
I'm not afraid. You will be.
Well, they got to show him. They got to show him being Leia has kind of shown him up in this whole series. He's got to be, a little bit cooler, but it doesn't work.
Right.
He's still the 18-year-old making vroom vroom noises with his spaceships when she's running a plane.
Yeah, you're right about that. Trying to evade that big ass ship, you'd think they could just like whip a U-turn and start going the opposite direction, and it would take that big ship a bit of time to turn around and continue on after them.
Yeah, literally the fact the only thing that's saving Leia right now is the fact that they're chasing Kenobi. Like,
Right.
they could have just blown up that ship and said, "F it, we can get you both at the same time."
Yeah.
And Leia, and
Not even knowing what they're doing.
Well, like I said, there's a good pilot. Apparently, it's just heavy evasive action on that. But yeah, I mean,
he knew that Vader wanted to go after him, so that was the whole point of this.
Oh yeah, well that's the whole point. The flashback is in the last episode is he knows because he knows it's Anakin. He knows what's in his mind. It's like, I got your number. I can bait you completely.
I don't ever recall owning a Lola.
There you go. Yeah.
Tractor beam.
Bruce
Yeah,
Brown's
Bruce.
like tractor beam. No, that's the track. There's not the tractor beams. Not tech that they had a long ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Some stuff and not others. There's a lot of this shaky cam that started to bug me a little bit when I was watching this episode. It's like it's overly handheld.
Mm-hmm.
Tractor
Hello, Leilani.
Oh, tracto bean. There you go.
There's a joke here about what she just wrote. I'm just not going to touch it.
Yep.
Okay. Was anybody else bothered about the size of Vader's ship here? Like, I always imagined it being bigger, and that looks like, okay, we're just going to land a Kenner. It looks like literally a Kenner size.
I was bugged that it wasn't his TIE fighter.
That was what I was surprised when I saw this come out of the.
It's like, that's the Emperor's shuttle. That's not Vader's TIE fighter.
I think shuttles in general are just their ship, but yeah, he needs. Why doesn't I think he just says "ready my"? Does he say "ready my ship" in A New Hope?
I think
that's, and not like "ready my TIE fighter" or "ready my fighter." Uh-oh. I like how they lit up his chest and belt more than they had in previous incarnations.
Yeah.
I will do what I must. I wonder where I heard that one before.
Maybe if you said there's the
classic stance.
Then you will die. Well, maybe if he says the same line he said on the Mustafar battle, maybe he'll actually like go 2 for 2.
Now,
I will do what I must.
My favorite part of this whole next sequence is how Kenobi is no longer on the defensive.
Yep.
Right.
He's like, nope. I am not fighting defensively anymore. He is going to start fighting offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but did you also notice this? We were talking about this with Gary earlier. Did you also notice in this fight he was doing quintessential young Anakin behind the back, like
a lot of that kind of twisty
spinning was a good
turny moves.
The spinning was good.
The spinning was going to comment on that when we get to like that point. Is I really think that they paid a lot of attention and they looked at the Battle of Mustafar fight choreography and they flipped them. They took some of what Anakin was doing. At least I got that impression. I'd have to go rewatch the other one to really get it. But that was the impression that I was given, is that somebody at least gave a nod to that.
Right.
But here we go. Here it's like they're just like Baru is just go
unloading. Actually, they're both shooting the same way. That's some close combat.
It is.
It goes by quick. But
that house is also a lot bigger on the inside. It's like
Is it TARDIS?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the Lars farmstead is a TARDIS.
I love this residual breaking of these column stalactites.
Yeah.
With that kind of crystalline texture or whatever it is that they have.
And this is a really neat part that they're using actual glowing sabers, and the reflections on Vader's helmet are just
it seems like they're adding a bit of glow here and there, especially when they have the saber out of frame. But the legit reflections off of like that armor makes up for that. And even if it's not all legit,
Vader's now
on like Kenobi's face with the red and the blue, it's so cool.
Vader's back to fighting with one arm, like he's known for. Okay, so I thought this was kind of cool that he basically, he cracks the earth.
See, this is the line that this is where I think she was talking about. They missed the line. Who
that's what I was
has
thinking
the high
too.
ground now, Kenobi?
I have the high ground, and then he could drop the crap on him. Spoiler alert.
Okay, so I thought the Force was not about making rocks float.
It's part of it.
I think we've proven in the Disney area that yes, that is how the Force works.
I mean, they obviously they had something at the Celebration store in Anaheim about floating a Jedi training kit, and it was rocks.
Some of the
they can make float.
Weird stuff that they put together for Celebration.
Okay, so this is what we were talking about earlier, is that Owen here holds his own against an Inquisitor.
Yeah.
But she's questioning.
And that's why I think they left her injured just for this.
Help the fight be more sort of balanced.
And then he's fighting with the same thing that from the trash compactor, right? Is that the same deal?
Yeah. It's that piece that Mando got from the Jawas.
From Leilani.
From Leilani, yes. The Jawa.
Yes. So she pushed him off the scaffolding. He went back first into the like
I said, this house is crazy on the inside. It's like, what is up with
a lot going on?
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the purpose of that room with not even, it's barely like the next level up in terms of where that bridge goes across. The weird kind of. Now we get to see Luke run. Luke.
Yep.
Luke.
And he's still underneath there. He's holding up the boulders.
I thought Kenobi was dead.
Oh, not dead yet. Sorry.
Flesh wound. I'll do.
Admit that you're beating. I love this.
And all this, he's hearing it. I am what you made me.
These flashbacks are awesome. You know what this reminds me of? And I hate to say, Potter, but if you remember at the end of Order of the Phoenix, Dave, when Voldemort possesses Harry and he's having all the memories of his friends, and that brings him back to like love. This is exactly what like Obi-Wan had. He had all the memories of like the kids and all the good times. And that's what made him.
I mean, I think it gave me the impression more of what they did in Rise of Skywalker, but they did it better. As you're hearing the voices of your mentors. Well, that I know, but
he was also hearing the were haunting him at the same time.
Yeah.
But now he's using the Force, pushing Vader. He's like,
I love it.
He's levitating rocks.
Vader get manhandled is insane. This is so video gamey right here, though. I mean,
oh yeah,
the scene is actually done really well, but the idea is so video gaming. But yeah, seeing Vader just get
housed,
handed. Well, not quite, but getting pelted and getting thrown around and things you don't think.
Well, remember, if you can dodge a boulder, you can dodge a ball.
You can dodge a saber.
You dodge a wrench. A wrench.
So is Luke putting off Force vibes that she's being led to?
I thought it was just that he was really bad at hiding because he could be in the background of all these.
Yeah, because I really don't think that he was emanating any sort of force powers or anything of that nature.
So the one thing
I love this, taking the butt end and smashing the crap out of his.
Oh yeah,
going to town on his electronics. I love it. He's thinking outside the box.
Well, like I said, it's the biggest thing is it's always been said that he was the greatest defensive lightsaber user,
right?
And always was in defense. This is not defense.
Okay, so here's the one thing I had an issue with. He does a lunge with the wrong hand and does a weak ass slice onto the helmet. Now, here's what I predicted on Tuesday, and I said, what if they pull a lantern and then you get half the helmet and see Anakin there, which was absolutely incredible they did this. And if you notice, they did the opposite side of where Ahsoka does it in Rebels. If Ahsoka does the left, Obi-Wan does the right. But I love the fact that you see Hayden's face in this, lit up with the right here, and he's got blue eyes here in this part of it. But the thing is that the voice is a mix of Hayden and James Earl Jones, whereas they do with Lanter and James Earl Jones in the Rebels scene.
Right.
So they're gonna have a field day on Monday talking about the scene.
Oh yeah, I mean this was the total fan service for fans of the animated series, for fans of Rebels. This
one thing also it explains also the certain point of view, because he says right here, "I killed Anakin."
Yeah.
So there's
Yep. How he looks at it. One thing I didn't like about that is that he didn't get a new or fresh kind of wound at all from that. You'd think that the blade strike would have done something and at least grazed him. And maybe
that's what they're actually trying to explain. Because if you look at his cheek, there's a graze right here. They're trying. What I'm gathering is that if you go back to Sebastian Shaw at the end of Jedi, besides having his eyebrows back on, is that he's got a huge gash on the side of his face, like in that spot.
Oh, down the cheek part.
Yeah, but here he's like crying. He's like, "I know you're done. He's gone." Like he doesn't want to destroy him.
Well, and I love how they took the reflection. It was more of a blued reflection before.
The two lightsabers.
It is totally the red reflection, and it's like, no, he's gone now. It's all over. But yeah, Lanny is saying
the lighting
is like, I loved how it gave Kenobi closure. He was done. This is what changed Kenobi from what he was.
That's why he said goodbye, Darth.
Yeah.
He's like, Anakin's dead. I
love that he said Darth, because the only time you ever hear him say that is in A New Hope. And Darth isn't used as it's because it's a moniker. It's like Mr. or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Title, not a name.
Him screaming Obi-Wan, is that his version of Kenobi?
I totally got Khan out of that.
Okay. I was not hawking any Trek. I actually thought of more Whitwer,
Yeah. It was because it's the overhead shot, and he said it quietly the first time and then loud the second time. It was totally the same Shatner.
So the one thing I had with that fight is that their sabers look like they are legacy sabers. The blades are too fat. They look great glowing and lit up and doing that thing and whatever, but their blades are too fat. Same with the Inquisitor.
Now, see, this is where you had a problem before with the hyperdrive being broken, right? It's because
why does this vehicle have a hyperdrive that was in the other vehicle?
Yep.
Why couldn't you use that vehicle's hyperdrive in the bigger vehicle? How many of those shuttles are in that vehicle that you could combine their hyperdrives to make up for the bigger hyperdrive?
Because like motivators we've seen are like it's always the motivator. It's always
the motivator.
Are the motivators not interchangeable? Or look at how much space is on that ship. Yes, it's smaller, but how many of those people could have uncomfortably fit in?
Crammed in like sardines or something. So this is interesting, where they kind of just give Luke to her, but then.
Hey, Ashley, everybody joining, we're at about 28:15 in part 6.
Yep, we're a little over halfway.
Yeah. Yeah, and he can get there that fast after the Spidey sense.
It took him forever to get everywhere else, but nice and quick getting there.
Yeah, and we're just out in the dark and the open area. Actually, we're at 2903, 2905, right in there.
Here's the Dune Sea.
Yeah.
Search the whole Dune.
Kind of a strange, he's a strange old hermit.
Yeah, this right here is my least favorite part of the entire episode. Not everybody gets a redemption arc.
Yeah.
No, that is the whole. That's the no. This is like, oh, Kylo can turn back to the good. No, leave him evil. I'm sitting here like wanting Kenobi to do a dooku to this dude there, or this lady, to Moses, to Reva. Like, do it. Because she knows too much.
Yeah, that too. More revelations.
Yeah.
Wake up, young Luke. You've been sleeping through this whole stupid series.
Aha.
Well, you got to give some of the reasoning to why Luke didn't know about all this stuff in A New Hope. Why was he clueless? He just...
Yeah, you'd think he'd be like, I remember that time when that crazy lady with that red glowy stick came running after me. And
was he living under a rock?
Well, he kind of is living under the desert. He's living under the sand.
Living under a bunch of mini rocks, sand. Yes, he comes from a land down under.
Yeah. Well, and it's not to say that what I disliked about it is the performance. I think the performance here was nice. I think how they wrote it was nice. Just no, she knows too much. There's too much. No.
Gave them peace.
Because I was thinking when she pulled the saber out, she was, gonna kill herself, just so it would tie up that ending nicely. But
Notman wants to know, Dave, if you'll be his co-pilot if he flies the Falcon.
You can be my wingman any day.
Bullshit. You can be mine.
There you go.
Okay. Here's another question.
I can make Wookiee noises over in the pilot.
You've never piloted the Falcon, Mr. Notman?
Okay, so what's with throwing down your saber in the sand in front of the Lars homestead?
It's a nice place to leave them. I bet you if you dig around there, you'll find a bunch.
It's rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
I could totally see Dave, one of those guys with the metal detector, going around the Lars homestead trying to.
You mean Tim Donaldson?
Yeah, there it is. Exactly. Ashley's asking, do you guys buy the argument that Obi-Wan should have never thrown the rocks because that isn't the Jedi way? And so, Ashley, I was like, I bought into it that he's just doing it because he's going on the offensive, because Anakin is dead. This is Darth Vader. He's pulling out all the stops. He's going for it. And so
yeah, but
I bought it. And it kind of echoes what happens to Luke in Mando, when he's going against the Dark Troopers, is like,
okay,
whatever it takes.
Let's look at this. How insane, how awesome this was to see Ian back as the Emperor.
It's a great hologram. This hologram is amazing. That would be an incredible shot to have signed right there.
And his makeup is really good here.
Mm. It's like, don't be going back to your old girlfriend.
Yeah, so here's one of their little the loose ends that this series creates. Is here's tying it up in a little bow. Is Vader's not going after Obi-Wan anymore because Palpatine told him to.
Well, you get the Imperial March finally.
A little kind of subdued version of it.
Yeah, they tone it down a bit, mix it with other stuff.
Well, see, and Notman saying, the Force is used by the Jedi for defense only, not to attack. But that was the whole point of that entire battle. Is it reversed it? Is Obi-Wan was on the offensive? He was not fighting defensively with that saber the whole time.
Yep.
So
backed it up and reversed it.
Look how pretty Alderaan is. I hope nothing ever happens to it.
Be a shame.
I'm sure that they wouldn't dare do something like that to such a peaceful planet. We have no weapons.
Yeah. And this is total like Leia, I'm gonna get all dressed up and put a holster.
Yeah. And I knew what was gonna end up in that holster.
I didn't get that until the end. I saw that at the end, but it didn't occur to me here.
Right when she put it on, I'm like, that's what's gonna go in there. Her murder weapon. But yeah, she's got some serious Leia vibes. There's the questionable ship again, taking you to every freaking planet you need to go to.
Lila's asking, how many little Leias are we going to see for Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how many little baby Yodas do we get?
Quite a few. I suckered into that. I've got a baby Yoda. I actually have multiple sizes of baby Yoda costume over there.
I have regular Yoda ears, and that's as close as I've got. As is evident in any of my photos, especially.
She lights up, and she's like, she does not run to Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
she bypasses him. Goes right to
my droid's back. Yay!
It's like, look, you brought my iPad back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's reality, right? Yeah,
it's true.
Much so. I like how the colors that he's been wearing have sort of evolved.
Well, and did you notice that he's like more or less gotten a shave and a haircut?
Right.
He's like, oh no, I've cleaned up.
Yeah.
Combed my
beard. If you
beard.
ever need me again, you know where to find me. Just send me a message.
Send me a badly encoded message that everyone that can get it on the way to me will. Oh wait, no, that's got to do a different way. Send it in an R unit. Spoiler alert.
I love this line. What do you think I should do? Should get some sleep.
Yeah,
you're old and tired.
But like right there, back to that easygoing old like prequel Obi-Wan laugh.
He's at peace again.
Yes.
I love how he's describing Padme and Anakin to her.
Yeah, definitely. Very well put. Things she inherited.
Well, and using the nice words for the qualities inherited from her father.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how he's there at this point. He's really acknowledging that Anakin is dead. I'm looking for a time check. We're at 38:20. 38:20.
Yep.
See, and I like that he's telling her there that, you know, he heard all that little under her breath stuff before. It's like, it's a tired old man. Yeah, I know what's going on.
I love this. Like, he's like, you have to forget me to save us. And she's like, goodbye, Obi-Wan. This is the first time she's called him Obi-Wan all season.
Right. And
the May the Force be with you was.
Is that the same woman who played Brea in the prequels?
I do not know the answer to that.
I would think they would try to cast the same
if they were available.
Right. Well, if they hadn't, you know, aged too much. Jimmy Smits never ages. So, right. You know, if she had actually looked her age against him, they might not be able to use her.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to wager it is likely her. I love how this whole scene, I couldn't get the Jefferson's theme out of my head.
Moving on up.
Or how the fact that Sideshow finally made an impact on Star Wars. You got the Mythos statue, Obi-Wan, down to the goggles here, now canonized.
Yeah, the goggles are a cool addition to his look. And I noticed that that T-16's been cleaned up. Did he pay extra for cleaning, or did he do?
God, no, maybe we should ask Leilani. Is she in the room?
Leilani, are you still in the chat? Did he pay extra? Did he get it? You know, did he get the T-16 cleaned up, or did he have to do that himself?
It's spit shined.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is another loose end that they tied into, you know, is Ben had a house on Tatooine, or what it passes for a house, a hut, or whatever, right. Not living in a cave.
Exactly. And like letting them know he's moving farther out, basically.
And I mean, like, I love the shots with the Aopi. Because in the he's all about his EOP. It's very important in the audiobook about his first days there.
Evolution of his costume is really cool. Like you said, he's the full on that version.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't know that we need a season 2 for. I want to see more content of it. But he's done a really good job of turning the character that Ewan played into the character that Alec Guinness played.
He's even said that too.
Yeah.
I know it was very important to him, as probably as well as to like Deborah Chow and other.
Well, I've seen an interview with Ewan where he says that he has on tape, like on digital or whatever, that he listens to of all of Alec Guinness's lines from A New Hope, just Alec Guinness's lines, and he's sitting there listening to them on repeat.
Get it in his head, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The young boy who played Luke, I mean, I'm okay with it. You know, it's nothing that I'm more impressed with the young girl who played Leia.
Now, this I thought was the thing, to where this is where Luke gets to know crazy old Ben.
Okay. Yeah. And he's about to say the line. We waited 6 episodes for him to say it, and I think he said it at the most perfect time.
It was.
He did.
It was one of those.
Because we were waiting for it before. We're like, and.
Yeah.
And even Luke even looks excited too.
Yeah, it's like, what's gonna
Yeah, and Luke does what Dave and Luke does what Dave did at Celebration.
He does nothing. He loses his. Yes, that is correct.
So some of the COP stuff is great, but some of it is a little
It's
off.
better than Mr. Snuffleupagus.
That's true.
That was a big puppet.
Okay, so would it have been great if you had Qui-Gon there, like he was Bruce Banner at the end of the Hulk? Do 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 do.
Hitchhiking.
Do, 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 do.
On my wave, Jedi.
So I guess he didn't want the Star Wars money unless it was a full feature film.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that
I'm
what Liam
sure
said?
they gave him as much as a full featured film.
Oh yeah, for this one scene. His hair bugs me right here. That his right side just does not sit well. The rest of it looks okay, but that right side.
Yeah. Now this I do love is this was Obi-Wan's journey to have to get to commune with Qui-Gon. Is he had to let go. He had to get
move on, as it were.
Yes.
It took you long enough. Do you think that line of "took you long enough" was? I mean, maybe I've watched Menace recently, but do you think that's a line that Qui-Gon would have said? He would have been that snarky to him.
Yes, I think Qui-Gon was rather snarky to him. It's like one of the memes where you're sitting there when Padme reveals herself. It's like the two most nonplussed Jedis is like, I just lost a $20 bet. Is
Right.
it just like
I owe you
that kind of relationship?
But I personally, the only thing that I would have liked in some sort of capacity, I mean, like I said, we got to see the cracked helmet, which I've been like I said on Tuesday. I was like, if I want to see anything, that's what I want to see, is see Hayden under the helmet in the middle of a battle if they did another battle. We got to hello there, which we did it, I think at the point where we all kind of like said they're just not going to do it because it's easy, it's low hanging fruit. So we were resolved that it's not going to happen, and they pulled it out, at the last second, and it was perfect. And obviously, we knew in some sort of capacity that Qui-Gon was going to show up somewhere. The only thing I probably would have wanted is maybe a flashback of Padme in some sort of capacity. I think that would have been like icing on the cake for me. But overall, even if they don't do a season 2, I'm okay with this. Like I thought they wrapped up the show and set it up as a. But I mean, I put up a really good tweet earlier today that a great idea for season 2 would be, Obi-Wan goes on a battle with, a mission on a trip with Luke, and ends up dying in the hands of Vader, and Luke runs off with Leia and Han and Chewie. I mean, that would be a great season 2 for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Good sequel.
Anyways, was anybody else bothered by
about 10 years in the future?
Yeah, another 10 years from now, a young adult Luke.
That's right.
Anybody else bothered by the fact that Qui-Gon himself was not listed in the credits?
I did not notice that.
I watched it twice when I first watched the episode. And I'm like, why is Liam's name not there? Did he want to go uncredited? That's weird to me. I don't know.
Because Ian's name was in the credits.
Yeah.
For no more than what that was.
Could it have been like Qui-Gon Jinn as himself?
or did Liam not do it? Do you think that they deep faked that?
I don't think he faked it.
They deep faked his hair poorly, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that.
I mean,
that was...
they think that they did. If they deep faked it, it looks like a better deep fake of that than they did of making Hayden look younger again.
All they did was give him a wig. They didn't really try to make him look younger. They could have
Right.
de-jowled him.
And did they hire like the main guy from
Deepfake
Deepfake, like after Mandalorian season 1?
They did.
Like,
Bryce is like a good season 2. He'd love to see the Chrysanthemum Obi-Wan fight from the comic.
Give him the slash. But I guess the Deepfake guy was off that day. I don't know.
Something had to happen in quality control on that, because I mean, like a TikTok filter could have fixed that.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, I was very, very happy with the episode. I was happy with the season. I would probably say that this season was obviously better than Fett. I still hold Mandalorian season 1 and 2 like way up there. But you know, we're getting enough television content that we could start to look at it just like we were looking at, like, you know, the Marvel stuff and how, you know, okay, do we like Loki better than Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision, you know, which we hold on a pedestal. You know, I'm thinking this is like, you got Mandalorian season 1 and 2, and then you have this, and this might even rival, in my mind, season 1 of, at least season 2 of Mandalorian. But some really good stuff in there. I don't know, what's your set, Jeff?
This is amazing. If they would have upped a few things, like some of the graphics here and there, and some of the weird little open loopholes that they allowed, that would have been my top number 1 show. But like you said, you know, Mandalorian started out so strong, and Fett kind of lost it a little. We'll see what they do with Ahsoka and Andor, though. Andor should be interesting for sure, and Ahsoka should be nice to tie in some more stuff.
Yep. Dave, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'll bring this up. Ashley makes a point that they have to go through the CAA to credit actors, and that they would have to keep Liam Neeson uncredited to avoid the spoilers, to keep the surprise, so they wouldn't have to let that out, which makes sense because, you know, Hayden was leaked, Ian was
right
leaked,
and that's where they get all that pre-info.
So that makes a good point. But so I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. We were talking about this, I think, before we came on. Is I don't know if my affinity for the first 2 episodes was just that we saw them in celebration with the cast, that why
the optimal viewing experience for something like
on
that.
The huge big screen with other Star Wars fans on your right and left and everybody. But
sitting next to you.
Yeah, they definitely stuck the landing. The last 2 episodes,
easily.
We saw a lot of good things in this. I'm with some of the people in the chat that they did wrap this up nicely and they brought it to a good close. I would be concerned that giving us a season 2 could screw that up.
Yeah, very much so.
You know, sometimes more content is just more content. That, right. You know, let us be happy with what we just got.
Now, would you want more, like, have 10 years of, you know, Vader, like bring back Hayden to do a Vader series, like leading up to A New Hope or Rogue One Vader without Kenobi?
I would watch more of Hayden as Vader. Yes, to get some of the badass Vader that's in the comics. You know, the one that we put on the back of the Darth Spencer dollars is like, you know, all I am surrounded by is fear and not fruity drinks, but dead men. You know, yes.
Right.
I would like to see that sort of thing. If you told another Obi-Wan story, I think it has to be separated from Hayden. It has to be separate from Vader. There's you can't keep going with that there's too much.
Especially with that conversation with him and the Emperor.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that I'm concerned about. If we get more Obi-Wan and more Hayden as Vader content, I want it to be separate. I don't want it to be together.
Well, makes perfect sense. But really good stuff. Very, very happy with where they went with this. Happy with the content, happy with what where we're going. Looking forward to future stuff. But before we close out tonight, I just want to remind you that next week we're actually going to be watching the gallery of the Book of Boba Fett. So hopefully you'll join us for that. And don't forget, this weekend is Unifying Force, and Monday is another episode of the Jedi Archive. Rebels Revisited. We got so many shows I don't even know.
Obi-Wan wrap up.
Obi-Wan wrap up. So we got some good wrap ups, some good wraps, with all that jazz. But don't forget, it's a wrap. As I said in the summer vacation trailer.
Said it's a snack. They should have said it's a wrap.
Yeah, they could have said
it.
Right.
So things are gonna be good.
When does that drop? August?
Yep. Make sure that you, if you're interested in the virtual Cantina limited edition jersey, hockey jersey, you have until July 19th to order that and pay for it. But other than that, Jeff, anything you want to say before we wrap up tonight?
It's just a very intense episode, and I've enjoyed the series a lot. So I'm glad we got to go through and watch it as a group. I always enjoy these if I'm here or if I'm in the chat or both. A lot of fun. I look forward to whatever we do for the future stuff.
Absolutely. Dave.
I just want to say, great episode. I'm like I said, hesitant to say I want more of this content, but I'm always happy about having more content. And I don't know. Can I just say goodbye there?
Yes. I'm happy with the content because it gives us stuff to watch. Because not to say that I didn't enjoy the fact that the 3 or 4 times we watched all 11 movies, but the fact that we have other things to watch as well is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so Lanny's asking is, what are you going to do without us every week? Oh, no. Just because this is over doesn't mean there's not Thursday night watch along content every week. Like we said, is next week we're watching the gallery episode for Book of Boba Fett, the behind the scenes, how to do it. Week after that, we're watching the 20th anniversary Clone Wars panel. And then we'll have some other stuff like a ramp up to Andor and we keep this going, so you can't get rid of us that easy.
No. We've been doing this thing for 2 years. Time we didn't do it. First night of celebration, just because people.
And Spencer's internet.
Bad Spencer net.
No. Because people are actually watching, with the people, other people actually watching Kenobi, but we've been doing this straight for 2.5 years. So
there'll be a show, something to watch.
Give ideas for future. We're starting piecemeal. Obviously watch Rogue. So other than that, everything else seems great, but we're very excited, and please make sure that you join us this weekend for our shows and all that, and we'll see you next week. So from Dave, Hef to Spencer saying goodbye there.
Goodbye there.
Bye.